All right, let's go. We got our 3 games here for our Sunday to round out Magic Round, and we had a couple more sin bins, a couple more send offs for our Sunday to round it out, and a really good game here in the Warriors and the Eels. And I know a lot of fantasy relevant plays here, so probably spend the majority of time in this game going through those guys. And if you're like me and don't have Reece Walsh, then you're upset. 74 in 46 minutes is absolutely incredible. Was a part of everything, and you can understand why. He is getting the time on the field. Scored a really good try near the end there when they were trying to come back. It didn't help him too much, but him also not being in my side means I have Roger, and Roger just gets sent out to the wing and has to come in and find his own work if he ever wants to score any points. So a great day all round for that little pairing there. So the question is going to be, what do we do with Roger? And we'll talk about him when we get down to his points there, but Tohu Harris with another lovely 58 points in base stats, ending with 63 for the game, and spending a fair bit of time through the middle and then moving over to the edge. And it doesn't really matter for him if he's playing that 80 minutes. He's scoring great, and an average of 66 for the year is incredible. So if you don't have Tohu, I think you just wait until round 14 now and then load up the boat. I imagine he'll be pretty highly owned by that stage. He's still around that 20% mark, so I'd say about 30% will have him in round 14 or 15, which is fair enough. He's deserving of that tag. From then he'll be playing all the rest of the games and has the dual position, averaging 66. Can't really say no with him. Campbell Gillard with a couple of tries. Mitch Moses with 60. Did limp off at the end, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. I haven't heard anything as of yet, but hopefully he is right to go. And if he's not, then maybe it's just a weak injury, because he looked like he maybe could have kept playing, but they're already winning, so I was like, just get him off now and put him on ice. So 60 points for him, a couple of try assists, a line break, 4 goals, just a bit of everything. Didn't tackle as much this game, but I suppose they had the ball in their hand for the majority of it. But yeah, well done to Moses. You're really happy with his output. He's up to a now 56 average and getting closer to that in his price now. Only lost 50k for the year with all the issues that he had at the start. So well done for Moses owners. Sirinen comes into the game and actually plays 80 minutes. So of course, Curran moves to the bench, which we'll talk about him in a second, as he actually scored well, but may have an injury. So Siren's there. I wouldn't be touching him. He's been so up and down this year. Nikorima with another great score, averaging 55 with another 56 there yesterday. Made 165k. He's been awesome. So you keep holding on to him. I think you just hold on to him for the year, to be fair, if you keep scoring as he does. Elon, he missed the one game in round 13, and you can go from there. Matto did score a try. I brought him in this week. Played a solid game without only one bit of attacking stat with a tackle break compared to the previous game where he had a few more offloads and stuff like that. So it's good to see that, as we spoke about, these guys that play on the edge or through the middle and play big minutes are just naturally going to get the points somehow. Even if they score, they don't have the attacking stats one week, then they make up for it. And he's got 48 in base, can get the odd try. A 55 for him is solid, but we're expecting somewhere in around that 60 mark as an average at a nice cheaper price there. So if you brought in Matto, awesome work. Let's find out over the next few weeks if he's chance of making Origin, but we're happy with that 55, and a few of the other guys like TPJ and Lucy and those guys got in the 30s. So that's him there. And if you hold on to Mane, then happy days for you. He's getting a lot cheaper now, which is great after that, obviously that low score in his concussion game. So 54 this week, did get a try assist, not too much else. I know no big tackles, obviously with them winning. So you take the 54 for him there, a negative 42k, and you can pick him up a bit cheaper over the next few weeks. So good stuff. Jazz Tavanga with a couple of bigger games now. Murdoch Masilla's looking nice on that edge too, really running with a lot of vigor, doing a good job. If you hold on to Jazz, I think you can still keep that going as he's getting some bigger minutes, but I'd be worried about it. Joshy Curran, so unfortunately, looks like either hyperextended elbow or dislocated shoulder. We're not exactly sure at this point. We'll find out hopefully a little bit more over the next few days. The Sorrento Physio just put out a post saying it could be anywhere between 1 to 8 weeks, depending on what the issue exactly is. So if it's a 1 to 2 week thing, I think you're definitely holding. If it's longer than that, it's probably, if it's 4 to 8 weeks, I think you're going to have to sell, unfortunately. But if you got him, 3 to 4 weeks ago, you've picked up close to 200k. In price rises and lots of good scoring. So for him to get 36 tackles in 33 minutes is incredible work to get a try as well in there. So good stuff for Joshy. Brownie, how much money has he lost? I can't believe he's in the 550 range now. He picked up a try as well. Only getting 45 minutes though is a bit low. Arthur comes in and gets a try on debut. That was a pretty special moment to sort of seal the game for him. Again, he's not going to be an option with Brownie coming back after one more week, it'll be. If there's any injuries, though, then he could be a man to pick up at that 257 mark over the next couple of weeks, depending on how bad Moses is. What else we got? Armour 39, as I said, he's a trade out. Harris DeVita, just someone, you don't want to be pushing to bring him into your side. I had a bunch of questions on him last week after he got his couple of tries and 60 odd. So, this is kind of the way he's going to be. Up, down, like that. Papali'i with 37. So, 59 minutes is a little bit less than what he's been getting, but just didn't do a lot in attack this week. 153 metres still, but only 2 tackle breaks, no offloads, no tries, etc. Only 20 tackles. So, just one of those games where you're not going to worry too much about it, but it is something that I guess I expected a little bit. His average over the year was way too high, 70 average, 70 plus, whatever it was. It needs to be down that little bit lower where it is now. I still expect him to be around that 60-ish point player. 58 to 60 is what I've been saying the last month. And that 850k, whatever he was a little bit steep for that. So if you still don't own him, then I think a few price drops over the next couple of weeks would be great. Leading into round 13, you can pick him up then, for example. Roger with 37. So it's good that he actually came in and still did plenty of work there for 234 meters, 5 tackle breaks, picked up a line break near the end there. But it's just really painful that he's getting moved to the wing because he's such a good fullback. And yes, Walsh is good, but RTS is still a better player. So I suppose they're still trying to work out how to incorporate both of them. They still aren't winning at the same time. So it's like, it's cool. We've got this young fellas doing, bits and pieces for us, but they're still not winning games. So, again, he's something I probably will be holding at least the next few weeks and see what's happening. If he continues that same role and isn't scoring very well, then he might be someone we have to move on, unfortunately, before he loses too much and ruins our scoring in the wing fullbacks there. But we've got to look at guys like Pap and what's happening with them over the next few weeks. Gutho with a slightly lower score. Do we think he's going to make Origin? I suppose that's the real question now. Aiken comes back, which is good. Good to see him back out there, but he's going to lose some cash. He could be an interesting one in the centres if he gets somewhere in the mid 400s as an option. Cartwright, people have been asking me, should we bring him in? Just the minutes aren't enough for him to average 50. Opachik with 34, which was fine. Didn't really do too much. 19 tackles, 3 busts, and 84 metres, and still getting 34 in the centres. You're happy with that. Hopefully some tries to come soon, and that's about it. Rocco Berry with 0 and 34 minutes. Oregon Kafusi, Ferguson, 27. Still holding those types of guys. All right, let's slide along to the Storm game. And Pap with a nice try assist before getting knocked out was annoying. Ravalawa, he's so strong, and I actually really like him as a footy player. Tries so hard in defence, runs the ball hard, finishes really well. Getting better and better every year, I think, which is good for him. Kenny Bromwich with an interesting 70. Nico Hines is someone I've been speaking about that's been a good option, and that's 74k up. Really hurts. If you're someone that brought him in over the last few weeks, well done to you. He was off for 11 minutes with the HIA too, so he could have got even more. But just doing a bit of everything. His goal kicking wasn't as good as the rest of his gameplay this week. But well done to him with 70, and I think he's someone that he's going to have a role in this team in some capacity. Obviously, with Pap going down injured, we should see him back at fullback again and scoring well. And he's just a good player. I just read yesterday that he's actually still unsigned for next year, and I doubt the Storm will be able to keep him, unfortunately. So whoever gets him, I think, is going to be pretty lucky to have him. And he's very, 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 very good footy player. Plays very heads up, sees what's in front of him, and just like every one of these Storm young fellas that come through, they're amazing. So well done to him. I'm a bit worried as if he's an option now at 458 is a little bit high. In the 300s was a good option. Kerr with a decent game, but no one has him. Hughes with 67, a little early mark as well. So well done to him. He's just obviously against a Dragons team that's one short for the majority of the game. He should be scoring well. Gets a try assist, bit of everything. 110 meters. Anyone that's making big meters as a half is killing it. So sad for those that dropped him when he was averaging about 45, and now he's averaging 65 massive games in a row. Adokar with a triple. For anyone who has him, he spent a little bit of time off the field as well with his slight knee injury, but came back and still ran pretty quick and no issues there. So we'll see how that goes over the next few weeks. He'll be in Origin though, so don't pick him up. Remus Smith is really turning into a good player. again, one of those stories that you move a player from the Dogs and they go to the Storm, or any team going to the Storm, comes out and really holds his own, I think, now. And yeah, really happy with him as a player. And if you've held on to him this whole time, he's actually more expensive than a few of those gun centers that we've been talking about. So averaging 37, well done to Remus there. Olam with 45 is the center that you're happy with. Christian Welch with 43 in 48 minutes. He's close to becoming a sell, as he hasn't really hit 50 in a bunch of weeks now. So again, they just keep dominating teams too much, so the tackles just don't come. Yeah, he still gets his few offloads and his tackle bust, but when they're putting that many points on a team, it's hard for him to get the 30 odd 40 tackles that we're looking for in that limited time frame that he's on the park. So yeah, one of those things. Unfortunately, Benny Hunt with the lowest score, so keep that price coming down. If he doesn't make Origin, he'll be a cool option. Bird with 33, pretty much their best player on the park again, running the ball so hard, has aggression, doing everything right. Just obviously no attacking stats when they're getting smashed. Kamakamika with 40 minutes for 33, so Finucane's getting those big minutes again. Bromwich with 52 minutes yesterday was all solid, but yeah, if you got Chewy, you keep holding, but you want those minutes to pop up a little bit higher going forward. McCulloch is the bad one. What do we do with him now? The last 2 games he's been given a spell around half time, so 64 minutes for 31, very, very scary. Obviously, when they're tackling a lot too, to only have 35 tackles, 3 misses is a bit out of the ordinary for him. So he's something that we'll have to worry about and think about the next few weeks as to whether he's actually going to be a keeper. And it changes quick, doesn't it? You're 80-minute player the first 8 games, averaging 60, and then you get a few light ones in a row. So definitely hold on and see what happens, but go from there. Dufty's an interesting one. Copying an injury to the AC joint, it looks like. We'll find out a little bit more about that over the next few days. But yeah, not too good. You'll be definitely having to sell him this week. Maguire, so another one of those guys that are on the fringe of that sort of keeper level, and you're getting decent minutes, but he did get sin binned. Another crappy penalty in there. He's that type of player that can, especially on a weekend like this, is gonna cop a sin bin or something like that. That is Maguire, but another one of those guys, as I said, that just on the fringe can have those bad games as well. So he'll probably come back next week and get a 40 odd 50, but if you're picking him up now, I think you're picking him up to be a keeper long term, and he's just a bit of up and down scorer. Alvaro lost me 20k now, which is sad. 26 in 23 minutes, so he's just getting less and less minutes every week with Maguire playing big ones. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold him. I'm gonna keep him there. I've got 3 blokes on the bench that aren't even playing for me, so I'll cop the negatives in price and go from there. Farmasili in there for 19 minutes. Came on for McCulloch actually, and Maguire playing hooker. Good team when you got Maguire sitting, as your backup hooker. I've also got Pap. Obviously a nice try assist and got injured. What's the question? What are we gonna do if he's out for this week and then he's out for 13? Well, does he make Origin? Surely he makes Origin, even if he's had a few issues. It was a pretty bad concussion, so I think they said he'll definitely be out next week. Just be what happens from there. So yeah, slight worry for Pap, but we'll see what happens. And then another one, that Max Fay guy, his spot was always in jeopardy, and then this time he gets a chance off the interchange for 1 point. So I hope you didn't bring him in. And then Fui, for all those guys like our people squad that held him, obviously got sent off pretty early in the game for hitting Pap. So if you were playing Pap and Fui, you got destroyed on that play. So he's definitely a sell, or you can hold him until the end of round 13 and go from there. All right, last game of the round. Holy smokes. We have a record, guys. The previous record was set by himself at 129. Who would have thought that Cleary could be 1.11 million and still make 46k? But he does it. He has a 96.6 average for the year. So if you don't have him like my alternates team, you're in a lot of strife. You won't be in the top sort of 3 to 4k, I'd imagine, if you don't. So yeah, 144 times 2 for 288 was incredible, and got a lot of people over 1,000 or over 1,100 this week. 3 tries this week. 173 meters, just incredible work. Didn't even have to kick as much this week, and only 1 demerit in 1 missed tackle. So he's incredible. Fisher Harris again picked up another try, so 2 tries in 2 weeks after not scoring at all in all these games for Penrith. So yeah, 46 minutes, 2 weeks in a row with lower minutes. Not sure if they're trying to use him as like crazy impact rather than playing him for longer minutes. For when they've got a bunch of forwards on there that can play that role. I think it's a pretty smart idea to use him as real impact, and 193 meters in that time. Plenty of PCMs in that one. He's been so strong. And definitely still an option for anyone's squad. Just under 700k now though, so gone up a bit in the last few weeks. Isaiah Yeo, you'd expect that he plays Origin. He's been just as good this year as previous years. Just probably just hasn't had to do as much as he did last year. So happy with his output at 60. Dylan Edwards with 56 without a try. I need him for a same game multi. Well, he couldn't outrun the Don. Bloody Edwards. Any other fullback would have had the legs for him, but great game. 56, 80 minutes. Great work. Still a great option. Just bottom out in price now. 74 underneath that. So getting someone as a keeper in the wing fullback position just under 600k, which is great. Liam Martin with the try again, 56 in his time on the park. Stephen Crichton with 52, and he's slowly getting there now. That's one of those guys that's actually making a fair few meters. Tackling fine with 10 tackles there for 3 misses. But a try assist, a line break assist there, and just being consistent across the board, which is great. And wasn't something that he had in his bag last year, because if he didn't score a try, it'd be like a 28-30. Now he can get a 50 without doing that. So very interesting option as a keeper in the centres, and covers obviously round 13, and you have him as dual position too. So keep an eye on him if you're looking for someone like that. Obviously Fogs, I think he did okay to be like 19 at the half, I think, and get at 48 in a team that got smashed. He obviously got a try assist there. 23 tackles for 4 misses he caught, but a couple of goals there. 48 you take, and he's only going to come up against easier teams from here, so we're fine with that. Coruscant with another low score, and he's going to keep losing money. He'll be very interesting. Are people going to take the gamble on him in round 13 and pick him up? Kelly with 38, Brimson 35. So 2 guys that borderline keeper sort of status there. Obviously, for them to score that in a beaten team is not too bad at all. You'll take that for sure. Kelly, I'll be holding off on just a little bit. I'm not sure if he's going to be that top gun keeper. Whereas Brimson, that's a lower score in what's been much better for him. He's running the ball a lot more free. I think he's feeling pretty good at the moment. So, there's that one there for Brimo. Still be thinking about bringing him in. Peach, 52 minutes as per normal, 27 this round. So 6 missed tackles and an error and a penalty is not too great. No real attacking stats for Peach. So, again, one of those centers. Remember, he's a center. Take the good and the bad with those types of players there. And you've got Cleary with 144, and then his counterpart Luai with 26. So you're a little bit worried about him in that scoring. Still averaging 48, which is okay in the halves. I suppose my question is, do you just wait and see what happens with him if he makes it into Origin? And if he does, then you can trade him out from there. But everyone can have a bad game. 23. So 1 tackle break, 165 meters. It's just maybe they didn't go left as much this week. Maybe they found some weaknesses. I feel like they found some weaknesses on the right edge, and then a little bit through the middle, and then they got a try with Liam Martin there too. So on the right, just didn't have to go left like they normally do, and just one of those things. To'o with a slightly lower game, but still averaging 57, so you're not too worried about that. And then we were talking up Burton all week, and then he comes out, and again, they didn't even go left at all. He had one attacking play maybe to get 40 meters gained, and only 8 tackles. So just the whole game was sort of played through the middle and on the right. If he's only making 8 tackles, that's pretty weird. So there's that there. If you're liking what his output at the moment, then this down in price, 39k. If you can pick him up closer to 400 in round 13, where he's going to be scoring a 60 plus, I think that's pretty cool. So keep an eye on him. And that's about it, guys. That's the Sunday review, the end of the Magic round. How'd you guys go? Did you get through unscathed? Do you have a few of those sin bin players and are looking forward to what's going to happen in Judiciary and stuff like that? Who are your injuries? What did you score? Let's answer all those questions in the comments, guys, or in the Discord group. The link's in the description down there. As I said, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. See you later.